Big changes are coming in 2025 that will affect all travelers. In today's video, we'll go over what you need to know and how you can get ready now, so your travel plans for 2025 won't be affected. Starting in 2025, American, Canadian, and travelers from many other countries will need to meet new requirements to visit popular European destinations. This includes using a new system called EES, Entry-Exit System, and getting a visa waiver called ETIAS, European Travel Information and Authorization System. The ETIAS is not a traditional visa, but a simple online waiver for short stays, up to 90 days, in European Union countries within a 180-day period. It costs €7.70 and is easy to get with a fully online process. Approval is expected to come quickly, often within minutes. Children under 18 and seniors over 70 don't have to pay, but they still need to apply online before traveling to Europe. You'll also need to be aware of EES, a new border control system that will track non-EU travelers entering and leaving the Schengen zone. With EES, you'll need to scan your fingerprints and have your photo taken at an automated kiosk or by a border officer. EES will replace manual passport stamping with a digital system, speeding up the process and improving security. Your passport will be linked to the system, tracking your entry and exit and calculating how long you've stayed in the Schengen zone. EES is expected to launch in early 2025, and ETIAS FET will follow about 6 months later, likely starting mid to late 2025. However, both systems have faced delays, so the timeline might change again. The second big change for U.S. travelers in 2025 is the introduction of an online passport renewal system. This will save us from having to mail in our passports or visit a passport office. However, there are a few important things you need to know before getting too excited about this new service. The online renewal process allows eligible travelers to renew their passports entirely online. You'll create an account, fill out the application, upload your passport photo, and pay the renewal fee digitally. However, not everyone will be eligible to use this system. To qualify, you must meet all of the following criteria. Be at least 25 years old. Have a standard 10-year tourist passport, not a diplomatic or official one. Your passport must have been issued at least 9 years ago, but no more than 15 years ago. Your current passport must be undamaged and not reported as lost or stolen. You must currently live in the United States. You should not need the passport in the next 8 weeks, as the system doesn't support expedited processing. If you don't meet all of these requirements, you'll need to renew your passport using the traditional method. If you do qualify, there are still 2 important things to keep in mind before using the online renewal system. First, once you hit Submit on the renewal application, your current passport will become invalid immediately. This means you can't use it for travel, so only apply when you're sure you won't need it soon. Processing times can vary, and the U.S. State Department has had passport backlogs, especially during peak travel seasons. So, it's a good idea to plan ahead to avoid stress. Second, there are strict passport photo requirements. You'll need a new photo that meets specific guidelines. No selfies allowed. The system provides clear instructions on how to take and upload an acceptable photo. However, you may want to visit a local store that specializes in passport photos, like Staples, to ensure it's done correctly. It's usually inexpensive, and it guarantees that the photo meets all the requirements. The third major change for Americans planning to travel in 2025 is the long-awaited enforcement of the Real ID Act. After many delays, the Real ID requirement will go into effect on May 7, 2025. Here's what you need to know. The Real ID Act aims to set stricter security standards for state-issued IDs, like driver's licenses. In the past, Americans could fly domestically with an expired license, but starting in May 2025, anyone flying domestically in the US must show a Real ID compliant form of ID at airport security. To check if your ID qualifies, look for a star in the upper corner of your driver's license or state ID. If your ID doesn't have the star, it's not compliant, and you'll need to update it at your local DMV. You'll need proof of identity, your social security number, and 2 documents showing you live in the US, like a utility bill or rental agreement. However, there's no need to panic. If you don't have a real ID, you can still fly domestically with other TSA-accepted IDs, such as a valid US passport, global entry card, US military ID, veteran health ID, or several other acceptable forms of ID listed on the TSA website. The key takeaway is that after May 7th, 2025, if you show up at the airport without a real ID or another valid ID, you won't be allowed to board any domestic flight, even if you're flying within your home state. The Real ID enforcement was originally supposed to start in 2018, so while the May 2025 deadline seems firm, keep an eye out for announcements in case of extensions or grace periods. It's best to prepare ahead of time, as DMV appointments can get booked up quickly as the deadline approaches. The next big change for American travelers in 2025 actually started in fall 2024. The good news is that this change will help reduce confusion and improve the travel experience. The U.S. Transportation Secretary announced that if a flight gets disrupted, passengers are now entitled to a full refund without the hassle of dealing with the airline. That's exactly what the new DOT final rule, which took effect on October 28, 2024, is designed to do. Under these new U.S. Department of Transportation regulations, if your flight is significantly delayed or canceled and you choose not to travel, the airline must automatically issue a full refund. This means no more arguing with customer service or spending hours searching online to figure out if you're eligible for a refund. Have you ever been confused about whether you should get a refund, credit, or compensation for a flight delay or disruption? Let us know in the comments. However, there's a catch. You're only eligible for a refund if you cancel your flight entirely. If you rebook a later flight or accept a travel voucher, you'll lose the right to the refund. Speaking of travel vouchers, they're now valid for 5 years, which is a big improvement. But a refund to your original payment method will almost always be the better option. So, if you ever find yourself in a situation with a US airline and they offer you a voucher as compensation for a delay or cancellation, ask if you're eligible for a refund before accepting that voucher. And the good news doesn't stop there. Another win for travelers under the new DOT final rule is better protection for delayed checked baggage. Under these new rules, airlines must refund your checked luggage fee if your bag is delayed by 12 hours or more on domestic flights, or between 15 and 30 hours on international flights, depending on the distance. This baggage fee refund is automatic, so you don't need to argue with the airline or fill out lengthy forms to get your money back. While this won't make up for the inconvenience of starting your vacation without your checked luggage, at least you won't be paying for a service the airline didn't deliver. It's hard to believe that before this rule, if your luggage was delayed or even lost, you'd still have to pay that checked baggage fee. And it's not just baggage fees. If an airline fails to provide a service you paid for, like in-flight Wi-Fi or seat selection, you're entitled to an automatic refund for that as well. In-flight Wi-Fi is still unreliable on many flights, so if you pay extra for Wi-Fi and it doesn't work well, keep this in mind. You should get refunded for that service too. Finally, there's big news for families traveling in 2025, thanks to the DOT final rule. Airlines are now required to guarantee free seating for families with children under 13. This means that parents and their kids who book tickets together will be seated together automatically, without having to pay extra fees for seat selection. I hope this information helps you stay prepared for the new rules and makes your future travels smoother. Be sure to check out the official links in the description for more details and updates. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel tips and updates. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.